Hello everyone, it is me, Maddox again. How's everyone doing? So in my last video, I talked about the kind of games that I play. So I talked about all the Nintendo ones and all that good stuff. So in this video, I'm actually gonna be showing, like, we're gonna do a small little series of videos of the actual specific games I play for like the Nintendo 64 and all that, and all the games I grew up with my childhood. So let's begin. First off, I'm starting with Banjo-Tooie, and the Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie ones. I pretty much loved these games back when they first came out. Where is it? Okay. Banjo-Kazooie, which went up into Banjo-Tooie. I've loved the Banjo-Kazooie games, but then they got all kind of... They didn't continue the original play style of it when they did the one for Xbox 360, I think, and I don't know, I just didn't like it. But the Banjo-Kazooie games, collect the golden puzzle pieces, and then just go and defeat all the bad guys. But I've loved the Banjo-Kazooie games, like, ever since I was a little kid. Alright, next is Bomberman 64. This game is a lot of fun, too. It's one of those games that if you just get touched once and you die, but which later on during some boss fights is really hard to do. Really hard. But yeah, but Bomberman 64, always a good game I love. Next, one of my favorites, Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2. These were probably some of the best games I played as growing up. One of my top 5, really. Like, Pokemon Stadium just started. I would always beat my brother. He'd always get really pissed. And then Pokemon Stadium 2 just made me even love it anymore. But then when they continued it, like, the next thing they did with, like, Pokemon Coliseum and all that, they got rid of the, be able to pick all the rental Pokemon you want. They got rid of that. So what I'm hoping that they will do someday is create a Pokemon game, which is just like Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, that you can just pick whatever Pokemon you want. But all 164, maybe minus the legendaries or something like that. But that is you know what, even add all the legendary. They do a game like this with every single Pokemon in it. That will be one of the best moments in my entire life. Really, like, if you agree with me, tell me in the comments below, because excuse me, a game like that would be amazing. Okay, continuing some of the Pokemon games. Pokemon Snap! Yes, taking pictures of Pokemon in your little machine, and then, yeah. This game was great. Even though there are some pictures I was still never able to get. I think the one picture I've always tried, but I could never get it, was getting Pikachu on Articuno's back. I was able to get Balloon Pikachu, but I just could never get it right. I just might have gotten... Yeah, I guess I just didn't get the timing right. But Pokemon Snap, it's always... Whoops. Dropped my keyboard. But yeah, Pokemon Snap, great game. It's not an action adventure game, but I've always loved Pokemon Snap. Alright, next. We're doing Lego Racers. Compared to a lot of racing games, this game really wasn't that bad. Even though it is kind of, some of the abilities in this thing are kind of overpowered a little bit, like the little warp jump thing. If you just keep getting those, you pretty much just dash through the entire level, and that's pretty much everyone got through. Warp jump! Warp jump! Pretty much a warp jump race during the entire race, pretty much. So yeah, Lego Racers, you create your own little kart guy. This game was pretty fun. The last guy is almost impossible to beat. I never beat him myself. Alright, next is Yoshi's Story. Yes, if you ever played this game, that little tune sounds very familiar to you. All your different little Yoshis and throwing eggs at the bad guys, and Baby Bowser being a little prick and taking your little fruit tree, and then you guys all kick his ass. And for people who are under the age of 13 or who think the language is inappropriate, I'm sorry. Yoshi's Story. Alright, next. We got... Alright. Mario Party 1, 2, and 3. Sadly, I only have 2. But yes, Mario Party 1, 2, and 3. The ones for Nintendo 64 were probably the best Mario Parties ever. They were the originals. The style of it was just amazing. Like, I enjoyed the Mario Parties like 4, 5, and 6. I never played any other ones, but, oh no, I did enjoy them. But these 3, were the best ones. Like, really, like, collecting stars, using the little genie guy, the Boo Bell. I mean, like, really, who doesn't like being a jerk and stealing all the coins and stars from your friend? And they're like, oh, yes, I got a star. Yeah, I just stole it from you. God damn it. Yeah, so that's the fun with that. What's next? Okay, we're narrowing down. Rocket, Robot on Wheels. Not a very popular game, but I enjoyed it. Especially when I was a kid, you know, you collect the little tickets from all over the place. There are some of these things I still have not found all these things yet. This game's kind of tricky though, but yeah, this game was fun. I did beat it, like got to at least beat the final boss level part of it, which is pretty much like every little trick and thing you've learned throughout the entire game. You're pretty much doing the final moment. But yeah, the game was actually not that bad, really, compared to a lot of other Nintendo 64 games I played. Okay, now we're getting to some of the more intense ones. Alright, look at it. Super Mario 64, very classic. This is also one of those games I talked about in my video yesterday about that if you have one of these and you you need some extra money, these things actually go for a decent amount of money than a normal Nintendo 64 game. So if you want extra cash, I think I didn't see where these go. These things might go for $30. Oh no, they're a lot cheap. They give you a lot more money for these things for like compared to like the least popular Nintendo 64 games. But yes, this game's always cool. Collecting the things, grabbing Bowser by the tail and swinging him around and throwing him and going, "In my body," or whatever the frick he says. And then the final level, ah man, that final level with Bowser, the final Bowser you fight, he was hard as hell. But I finally was able to do it. Hooray for me. Alright, next. One of my favorite games, and one of my favorite games that I pretty much played this game up until like a certain point, and then like I'll just keep replaying it over and over and over again. Paper Mario, baby. This was one of my major games when I was a child. This was my childhood game right here. I would play through this game so many different times that I would just destroy them. I think the one boss that I always hated so much, that took me the longest to beat, besides Bowser at the very end, was the Crystal King. Near like the seventh, like the very last boss before you actually got to go fight Bowser. But he was so annoying with his clones, his little ice beam. Yes, he's like a Pokemon. And really, Paper Mario, one of the best games ever. And I still play it even today. And then I'll even talk about the other Paper Mario games when I do, actually, no, I'll probably after this video, I'll probably go on and do my GameCube one, because I still have to owe you guys for the 2 videos. I was supposed to do 2 videos yesterday, but I only did 1, so I'm going to do 2 videos today. So shortly after after this one uploads, I'm going to do my GameCube one. Alright, Paper Mario 2, or Paper Mario. Great game. Get it. Okay, next. We're narrowing it down to some of the best ones. Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. This kind of continued right after Ocarina of Time, and pretty much the same style of it. Majora's Mask, like I've heard people say it's not good because of how the playstyle is of going over the days over and over again. I love Majora's Mask. I mean, this game was just of course at the very beginning it was really weird. The style of it was just like it took me a little bit to do the whole first day thing, because every time I kept playing it, the moon would just keep crashing into the earth. Next thing you know, I see a wall of fire coming at me, and I just obliterate this into nothingness. And especially really even funnier when you're the little Deku kid on here. It's when the wall of flame comes at you, and you just scream your little head off, and everything dies. But yes, Majora's Mask, collecting all the masks. Some of the masks were a real pain to get. I think the one that I was actually most scared of when I was a kid was the ranch one, when you had to fight off all the ghosts, or like aliens or whatever they were. I think they're like aliens, and you had to defend them for the entire night. When I was a kid, I was scared as hell of that mission. Like, whenever my brother played the mission, I would just leave the room. Like, I was so scared of those things. It's kind of like I'll talk to that in a second when I talk about Ocarina of Time, but I was so scared of those ghosts. No kidding. Like, I don't know what it was, but finally I was able to do it. I manned up, shot him in the face with my arrow, and then I got like her and her older sister to like me, which was awesome. But great game. If you have the chance to get it, it's great. Get it. It's a fun game. Okay, coming down to my last two Nintendo 64 games. Super Smash Brothers! Probably still one of the best games ever. This game was so much fun that me and my friend were pretty much like, they'll find the highest level the computers could go was level 9. We were like, Mike, we're so awesome. We're like level like 12 or like 20. That's how skillful we were. We thought, like we were saying this back when we were kids. And really, this game was so good. Throwing people was overpowered as hell. I mean, really, like, a majority of kills for a lot of people was literally like grabbing them and throwing, like Donkey Kong. If you threw them backwards behind you, the throw was so strong. Like for so many people, like the hook shot, like Link's throw, Samus throw, so many people's throws were so overpowered in this game. But then they fixed that when they got over to Melee. But yeah, so one of the best games ever, and is still one of my favorites. Alright, now we're back to my final Nintendo 64 game. Ocarina of Time. This was one of my other few major childhood games. Back a while ago, when around the time that Resident Evil 4 came out, they did a top 50 games over the last maybe 10 years or so. This game was number 1. This Ocarina of Time beat Resident Evil 4. And for people who played Resident Evil 4, you'd understand that Resident Evil 4 was a very good game. Yeah, that was my phone. But, yeah, so Ocarina of Time was such a great game. I mean, like people will all say that this game is probably one of the best games ever made by Nintendo. Like, nothing even comes close to how amazing Ocarina of Time is. Like, I don't know what it is, but this game literally is awesome. Collecting on getting the ice arrow was in that little dungeon, and yeah, that was all fun. But yeah, as soon as this video uploads, I will continue making I will then get my GameCube one up. So remember, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Whoops.